Thank you, Mr. MC. Mr. Chairman, Your Excellency, former President J.J. Rawlings, the National Executive of the NDC, Honorable Deputy Minority Leader, Togbe Dunyo, distinguished guests, our friends from the media, ladies and gentlemen, the opportunity has once again presented itself for us to meet here to celebrate or commemorate June 4th revolution. And I want to use this privileged opportunity to commend our founder, Flight Lieutenant Jerry John Rawlings, and all those who played a part in that event, which later gave birth to our great party, the NDC. First and foremost, the June 4th, as has been accounted by our chairman, was an uprising which occurred because the economic situation in the country was run so badly that people could not make ends meet. Food, which was a basic necessity, was hard to come by. There was extreme poverty. I was a little girl in primary school, but I still do remember what my parents went through at the time to feed us. There was corruption in the country, lack of social amenities like potable water was hard to find because our engineers who should have mounted the water plant all had traveled outside the country for greener pastures. So people drank unwholesome water, which caused waterborne diseases like bilharzia and guinea worm. I still do remember the days our founder was going around countryside helping people. The trust of the people was abused because those who were exercising those power forgot they were holding the power in trust for the people. Our workers, professional teachers, doctors, nurses abandoned our hospitals. So women went to the hospital to give birth. They died, their children, their babies also died. This was the situation that called for the uprising. Civil society organizations, the Ghanaian populace in general, all rose up to fight for what belongs to them. Ghana became a laughing stock by our neighbors as our citizens migrated to these countries like Nigeria, Ivory Coast. They were being humiliated because they did menial jobs they wouldn't have done way back here in Ghana. For example, in Ivory Coast, during a national quiz competition, the children were asked, in which country do people queue for toilet rolls? And the answer was Ghana, and that was correct. So that was the situation in Ghana at the time. And so people resorted to producing local-made soap like Don't Touch Me. There was extreme corruption and mismanagement of our economy, resources, in those who were in charge of governance. The spirit of patriotism, which is the readiness to fight for and even die for one's country, was almost dead as those in the helm of affairs plundered the nation and cared less about the plight of the suffering masses. Corruption became endemic and almost accepted everywhere. Today, the very thing that sent us to June 4th are still here with us. Youth unemployment is still a problem. Accountability by those in authority is still a problem in our country. People are amassing wealth for themselves, forgetting that they were put in position to fight for the people. So the ills that the revolution fought against, which is corruption, nepotism, unemployment, lack of education, healthcare, are still here with us. Today, accountability is far away from us. For instance, despite the key program of this government or key policy, which is free SHS, parents are still struggling to get boarding facilities for their children. And so they resort to renting accommodation for these young ones who later on find themselves practicing all kinds of social vices. Also, despite the promise that we have abundant food stock, people are still struggling for a decent meal a day. Again, in spite of the numerous anti-corruption state institutions that we have, in recent times, you know, we have Office of the Special Prosecutor. Irrespective of all these anti-corruption agencies, we still have corruption as a major challenge in this country. The 1992 Constitution involves every facet of life: farmers, barbers, market women, lawyers, drivers, all professionals contributed to the 1992 Constitution, which gave birth to the Fourth Republic. But should we, as citizens, look on whilst our constitutional bodies are being used against the people? No. Constitutional bodies like the Electoral Commission, who seemingly are being manipulated and controlled by carefully executing a grand design to hoodwink the entire citizenry with their intended new voter registration without listening to the major opposition party, the NDC, is a cause for worry. Let's be reminded of what happened recently in Hong Kong, where the Chinese government tried severally to calm down demonstrators. Now let us even look at the almighty America, where citizens are demonstrating because of a singular act. It is important as citizens to demand accountability from people we put in power. We need to conduct our affairs in an honest and forthright and incorruptible manner so that our countrymen and women will see and testify how morally sound we are with regards to the country's resources. And finally, it should be noted that the key words in this year's theme, as chosen by the planning committee, patriotism, resilience, and integrity, are action words directed at us, those who believe in the revolution, of which serve as the watershed of our political tradition. On our side, like the Israelites in Egypt, who needed to be liberated from oppression, discrimination, and high-handedness of Pharaoh, we need to work hard and relentlessly, like Moses and Aaron, to win the December election to liberate Ghanaians from their suffering. And before I take my seat, I wish to commend all frontline workers in the fight against COVID-19. May God bless us all. Long live June 4th Revolution. Long live the NDC. Long live Mother Ghana. Thank you.